Galactus, the giant planet-sized entity from Marvel, floated aimlessly in outer space, his massive leash wrapped around his two pets. The world serpent, a gargantuan monster snake from Norse mythology, was big enough to wrap around the entire world. It lay sleeping, its enormous body coiled around a nearby asteroid. Galactus's other pet, SCP-682, the indestructible monster reptile, was also connected to the leash. It stood motionless, its cold, reptilian eyes fixed on some distant point in space. Galactus, feeling a bit down lately, let out a casual, heavy sigh. He rested his elbow on a nearby asteroid, his palm supporting his chin as he gazed out into the vast expanse of space. His eyes seemed distant, lost in thought. The world serpent stirred in its sleep, its massive body shifting slightly. Galactus's gaze drifted to his pet, a hint of a smile on his lips. He seemed to be reminiscing about better times, when he was not feeling so down. SCP-682, sensing its master's melancholy, turned its head towards Galactus. It regarded him with an unblinking stare, as if trying to understand the source of its master's sorrow. Galactus's sigh was the only sound in the vast, empty space. His pets, sensing his distress, remained still, waiting for their master to reveal the source of his troubles. Galactus's expression remained subdued as he received the holographic call from Bruce Banner and Spider-Man. He let out a casual sigh, his deep voice rumbling through the vast expanse of space. "I'm feeling a bit down, Spider-Man and Hulk," Galactus said, his tone melancholic. "I just can't keep on eating worlds. It's also repetitive. I need something more, something that will satisfy my hunger and lift my spirits." Bruce Banner's eyes narrowed in concern. "Galactus, what's going on? You're not thinking of devouring another planet, are you?" Galactus shook his head, his massive helmet glinting in the light of nearby stars. "No, Bruce. I'm tired of eating worlds. I need something bigger, something more substantial. I need a big biscuit." Spider-Man's eyes widened in surprise. "A big biscuit? Galactus, what are you talking about?" Galactus's expression turned wistful. "A big biscuit, Spider-Man. A biscuit that's as big as a planet. A biscuit that will satisfy my hunger and lift my spirits. Do you think you can help me find one?" Bruce Banner and Spider-Man exchanged a skeptical glance. They had never heard of a biscuit that big before. But they also knew that Galactus was not a being to be trifled with. If he wanted a big biscuit, they would have to find a way to get it for him. Here's the revised continuation. Galactus's expression remained subdued as he received the holographic call from Bruce Banner and Spider-Man. He let out a casual sigh, his deep voice rumbling through the vast expanse of space. "I'm feeling a bit down, Spider-Man and Hulk," Galactus said, his tone melancholic. "I just can't keep on eating worlds. It's also repetitive. I need something more, something that will satisfy my hunger and lift my spirits." As he spoke, his massive leash remained wrapped around his two monster reptile pets, the world serpent and SCP-682. The world serpent stirred in its sleep, its massive body shifting slightly, while SCP-682 regarded Galactus with an unblinking stare. Bruce Banner's eyes narrowed in concern. "Galactus, what's going on? You're not thinking of devouring another planet, are you?" Galactus shook his head, his massive helmet glinting in the light of nearby stars. "No, Bruce. I'm tired of eating worlds. I need something bigger, something more substantial. I need a big biscuit." Spider-Man's eyes widened in surprise. "A big biscuit? Galactus, what are you talking about?" Galactus's expression turned wistful. "A big biscuit, Spider-Man. A biscuit that's as big as a planet. A biscuit that will satisfy my hunger and lift my spirits. Do you think you can help me find one?" Here's the continuation of the story. Galactus's eyes widened in surprise as he saw a massive, floating biscuit packet hovering near his gigantic face. The packet was almost as big as a small planet, and it was filled with gigantic biscuit pieces that were floating out of it. As Galactus watched, the biscuit pieces began to collide with the horned part of his gigantic helmet, causing a loud clattering noise to echo through the vast expanse of space. Galactus's face lit up with excitement as he realized that he had stumbled upon a spare food source. He reached out with his massive hand, eager to grab the biscuit packet and devour its contents. Just then, Spider-Man's voice echoed through the comm system, "Hey, big guy. Looks like you've found something to munch on." Galactus's face broke into a wide, toothy grin as he replied, "Indeed, Spider-Man. This biscuit packet is just what I needed to lift my spirits." Here's the continuation of the story. Galactus's gigantic mouth opened wide as he began to consume the gigantic biscuit packet. Crunching sounds echoed through space as he munched on the biscuits, his eyes gleaming with satisfaction. Meanwhile, his gigantic world-sized monster snake pet, the world serpent, was seen eating an entire mountain for breakfast. The serpent's massive jaws opened wide as it engulfed the mountain, its body rippling with pleasure as it swallowed its massive meal. SCP-682, Galactus's other pet, was seen eating smaller chunks of rocks for breakfast. The monster reptile's jaws crunched through the rocks with ease, its cold, reptilian eyes gleaming with a malevolent intensity. Spider-Man watched the scene unfold, a humorous glint in his eye. Looks like the big guy's got his 2 reptilian pets eating rocks for breakfast, he quipped, chuckling to himself. Bruce Banner, who was watching the scene unfold alongside Spider-Man, shook his head in amazement. Galactus's appetite is truly astronomical, he said, his voice filled with wonder. Galactus, oblivious to the banter between Spider-Man and Bruce Banner, continued to munch on his gigantic biscuits, his gigantic world-sized monster snake pet and SCP-682 eating their respective meals in the background. Here's the continuation of the story. Galactus continued to savor his gigantic snack, his massive jaws crunching through the biscuits with ease. His pets, the World Serpent and SCP-682, remained under his leash, their massive bodies dwarfing the surrounding mountains. SCP-682, the indestructible monster reptile, was now twice the size of the mountains, its massive body a testament to its incredible growth. Despite its enormous size, SCP-682 remained visible in the visions of the World Serpent, Galactus's pet gigantic oversized monster snake. The World Serpent's unblinking eyes seemed to be constantly monitoring SCP-682's movements, its gaze piercing through the vast distances between them. The Serpent's massive body remained coiled around the leash, its grip on SCP-682 unyielding. Galactus, still munching on his snack, seemed oblivious to the intricate dynamics between his pets. His focus remained on satisfying his hunger, his massive body radiating an aura of contentment as he devoured his gigantic biscuits. Here's the continuation of the story. As Galactus continued to savor his gigantic biscuit snacks, a sudden burst of energy echoed through the cosmos. SCP-682 and the World Serpent, still leashed to Galactus, suddenly turned their attention to a new challenger, Godzilla, the king of the monsters. Godzilla, its iconic roar echoing through the void, charged forward with a fierce determination. SCP-682 and the World Serpent, sensing the monster's approach, prepared for battle. SCP-682, its massive body glowing with an otherworldly energy, lunged forward with a devastating bite. The World Serpent, its coils rippling with power, struck with a lightning-fast strike, its jaws wide open to devour its foe. Godzilla, undaunted by the sheer scale of its opponents, retaliated with a blast of atomic breath. The beam of energy struck SCP-682 with incredible force, but the monster reptile merely shrugged off the attack, its regenerative abilities allowing it to heal from the wound in an instant. The World Serpent, meanwhile, wrapped its coils around Godzilla, constricting the monster with an unyielding grip. Godzilla struggled to break free, but the World Serpent's coils only tightened, threatening to crush the life out of the king of the monsters. As the battle raged on, Galactus continued to eat his biscuit snacks, seemingly oblivious to the chaos unfolding before him. The fate of Godzilla, SCP-682, and the World Serpent hung in the balance, as the three titans clashed in a struggle that would shake the very foundations of the universe. Here's the continuation of the story. The World Serpent and SCP-682, enraged by Godzilla's attack, suddenly roared back at the king of the monsters. Their massive bodies trembled with fury as they prepared to unleash their full fury upon Godzilla. The World Serpent, its coils rippling with power, wrapped its massive body around Godzilla, constricting the monster with an unyielding grip. Godzilla struggled to break free, but the World Serpent's coils only tightened, threatening to crush the life out of the king of the monsters. SCP-682, its massive jaws wide open, charged forward with a devastating bite. Godzilla tried to defend itself, but SCP-682's sheer size and strength allowed it to overpower the monster. The two titans clashed, their massive bodies shaking the very foundations of the universe. As the battle raged on, Galactus continued to eat his biscuit snacks, seemingly oblivious to the chaos unfolding before him. The fate of Godzilla, SCP-682, and the World Serpent hung in the balance, as the three titans clashed in a struggle that would shake the very foundations of the universe. The World Serpent's coils tightened further, threatening to crush Godzilla's body. SCP-682's jaws closed in, ready to deliver the final blow. Godzilla, its body battered and bruised, struggled to defend itself, but it seemed that all was lost. Here's the continuation of the story. Godzilla, in a desperate bid to turn the tide of battle, unleashed a powerful blast of atomic breath. However, the attack only managed to push back the World Serpent and SCP-682, rather than destroying them. Enraged by the attack, both monsters activated their rage mode, their bodies glowing with an intense, otherworldly energy. SCP-682, its bladed tail glowing with a fierce, malevolent light, sliced apart the legs of Godzilla, tearing them completely off. The World Serpent, its gigantic toxic fangs bared, struck with a devastating bite, completely thrashing and heavily crushing Godzilla's lifeless body. SCP-682, its rage mode intensifying, stabbed Godzilla's body repeatedly, before finally slicing off its head with a swift, deadly strike. As Godzilla's lifeless body lay before them, SCP-682 began to eat and swallow the monster's head, its jaws working with a slow, deliberate motion. The World Serpent, meanwhile, completely crushed the entire lifeless body of Godzilla, its coils tightening around the monster's corpse with a deadly, unyielding grip. As the battle came to an end, both SCP-682 and the World Serpent panted heavily, their massive bodies trembling with exhaustion. Galactus, still eating his biscuit snacks, seemed oblivious to the carnage that had unfolded before him, his pet's victory mere collateral damage in his quest for satisfaction. Here's the continuation of the story. As Galactus finished consuming his gigantic biscuit snacks, he let out a satisfied sigh, his massive body radiating an aura of contentment. Ah, that was satisfying, Galactus said, his voice booming through the cosmos. Now, my pets, it's time for you to rest. SCP-682 and the World Serpent, still panting heavily from their battle with Godzilla, slowly began to calm down, their rage mode dissipating as they returned to their normal state. Galactus gestured to a nearby asteroid, his massive hand indicating a spot where his pets could rest. Sit down, my pets, Galactus said, his voice gentle but commanding. You've earned your rest. SCP-682 and the World Serpent slowly made their way to the asteroid, their massive bodies settling down onto the rocky surface. As they rested, Galactus watched over them, a benevolent smile on his face. My pets, Galactus said, his voice filled with affection. You are the greatest treasures in the universe. I am proud to be your master. As Galactus continued to watch over his pets, the cosmos seemed to grow quieter, the stars shining brighter in the presence of the Devourer of Worlds and his mighty pets. Here's the final continuation of the story. As the cosmos grew quieter, SCP-682 and the World Serpent settled into a deep slumber, their massive bodies resting alongside each other. The World Serpent, its gigantic body wrapping around the entire world, seemed to be embracing the planet in a gentle, yet firm, grasp. SCP-682, its massive body sprawled out alongside the World Serpent, seemed to be basking in the warmth of the nearby stars. Its eyes, once glowing with an otherworldly energy, had dimmed to a soft, gentle glow. Galactus, watching over his pets with a benevolent smile, seemed content in the knowledge that his monstrous pets were at peace. The Devourer of Worlds, his hunger sated, seemed to be basking in the warmth of the cosmos, his massive body radiating an aura of contentment. And so, the story comes to an end, with Galactus and his monstrous pets resting in the vast expanse of the cosmos, their bond and their power a testament to the wonders of the universe. Here are some additional extra dialogues of Spider-Man and Bruce Banner. Spider-Man, whoa, did you see that? Galactus's pets just took down Godzilla like it was nothing. Bruce Banner, I know, it's incredible. The sheer scale of those monsters is awe-inspiring. But we can't let our guard down. We don't know what other threats might be lurking in the cosmos. Spider-Man, yeah, you're right. But for now, let's just enjoy the show. I mean, how often do you get to see Galactus and his pets in action? Bruce Banner, not often enough, unfortunately. But I'm just glad that we're not the ones who have to deal with them. At least, not yet. Spider-Man, yeah, let's hope it stays that way. But hey, at least we got to see some epic monster action. That's definitely going on my top 10 most epic battles list. Bruce Banner, I'm sure it'll be a memorable experience. But let's not get too distracted. We still have a lot of work to do to protect the Earth from threats like Galactus and his pets.